cool. Back. What episode is this now? Episode...
It's like 3 or something like that.
Technically, it's like, would be like chopped up into little bits anyway.
Yeah.
But overall, I think this is like episode 3 overall. So welcome back to episode 3 of the Top Cat podcast. I didn't think we'd get here, but we're here. And honestly, I'm happy to see the progress.
Small pause during Ramadan.
That's it. Yeah. We had a little delay, obviously. We all just backed up with Ramadan, focused on other things, as I'm sure a lot of people were. Now that we've brought it up, what would you say? Any positives from Ramadan that you've taken away from it, or just a bit hungrier?
Nah, you know what, yeah?
Skinnier,
so last year, remember, someone bumped my car.
Yes.
Yeah. And you told me, just lay it off.
Yeah.
Leave it as that, that month. I was like, cool. And then obviously this year, someone smashed my tail light. And again, that crucial month, and I was like, you know what? Just gotta let it slide, innit?
Well, it's mad that you mentioned this because
I was on some vengeance one, man. I'm vengeance.
But as you know, the same thing happened to me, innit? That
oh yeah.
Yeah. Around the back of where I live, I seen someone reversing, and I knew it was bad when I looked out my window and I could see the guys in the car reversing. And the woman's outside the car and she's giving him directions. And I was like, this can't be good. And I look and lo and behold, what do I see? You know when you see like from an angle that someone's reversing around the corner of your car?
Yeah.
And then there's no gap. And you're like,
how is this gonna fit?
You could be touching me right now.
Yeah.
I put my head out the window and I'm just like, did you hit my car? No. Oh, you can come down here and look at it if you want. And I thought, the confidence, yeah? Do you know what? Ramadan, fair play, yeah? Let me take my own advice. And then, I woke up the next morning, went downstairs. Fat old scratch there. So thank you for that, man. But, yeah, man, no, it was good Ramadan overall. Obviously, today, back to talk about what we normally talk about, like weekly news occurrences, what's happening in the local area. Some good news, some bad news. I think this week probably a bit more bad news than good news from what I found. I don't know about yourself, but I'm sure there's some positive stories in there. And then I guess we'll get right into it. So is there any particular story that you wanted to start with first and foremost?
Nah, man, I'm not really too fast.
All right, one thing I want to start with, again, I don't really like starting with the doom and gloom because, like we said in episode 1, that's sort of like the narrative. That's always
it's all sunshine and rainbows and stuff.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's not all positive, obviously, but at the same time, I feel like the focus is always going to be on negative stories more than anything else. And then in terms of the negative stories, I think the first one that came up was the unfortunate sexual assault that's happened. Is it the Slough Superstore, the main one on Bath Road? The sexual assault.
About that girl, what was she, like 20 or something?
Yeah, so they essentially...
50-year-old predator.
You one ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, so essentially, I'll just sort of read it, not verbatim from the article, but Thames Valley Police at the moment, they're appealing for witnesses for what they believe was, I guess at the moment, an alleged sexual assault that happened at Tesco car park. You're correct, it was a woman in her 20s that spotted a man winking at her by Slough railway station, so it is the one on Bath Road, the main superstore, about 2:15 p.m. on Monday, March 24th. So, police currently looking for witnesses. I think in terms of a description, I don't know if they've got a description. Yes, they have. So the victim, describe the victim. Police described that might be an error actually. Victim walked through the section of the car park towards her, just touched inappropriately. So police described the perpetrator as an Asian man, aged in his 50s, about 6 feet tall, silver hair. Silver and black hair, brown eyes, and was clean shaven as well. And he was wearing a light coloured tracksuit. So,
Uncle, we can't be doing damn things.
Don't do them things. Don't go around doing that again. I beg ya.
or sometimes it's okay.
Nah, it's never okay. I know what video you're on about. Never okay, man.
Oh man, honestly.
Uncle, you gotta hold it down, man. You know what I mean? Reconnect with your like separated or divorced missus or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You get me? You can't be out here doing that to 20-year-old girls.
It's
man.
crazy because like
in Tesco.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First we had a nitty problem there where it was just all filled with crackheads in the back of the car park and all this and that. Right, finish your shopping and there's some geezer asking you for £1.
Yeah.
And now you got people like you walking around where there's children. You don't want to be put on that list, man.
Do
don't
you know
wanna
what it
be on
is?
that list.
All it's going to take, yeah, is for that guy to do one thing around the wrong person. Like, God forbid, yeah, let's say...
He's already done it.
Yeah, well, this is it, innit? Do you know what I mean? Someone could have... God forbid... Like, look, we shouldn't take things into our own hands when we've got a justice system, right, is what I'll say on our YouTube channel, yeah? But at the same time, someone had intervened, maybe, before it got to a point where it was a bit more serious, where that woman felt like she was being threatened, could have been prevented, could have been a different situation. Who knows? No one even knows who this guy is, isn't it?
Yeah.
This guy could be someone who does this regularly, could be something else. We don't know, innit? But obviously, I think the leading detective on this case, I think her name's Danielle. Let me get her full name. Danielle Adams said that she's appealing for witnesses for the sexual assault. If you could come forward, obviously, if you have any information, just dial
They've got
111.
cameras in there.
I think they're looking for evidence at the moment, so they're appealing for witnesses. I guess she wants to press charges, and then now they're building a case, or
I
maybe
thought they could ask Tesco for like permission for footage from their cameras.
I would assume, yeah, I would assume that they would ask.
Even the
that.
train station, but it depends where in Tesco, innit?
Yeah, it does. It does. I think in terms of where it happened and where they moved to, it went from there to Brunel Way, and then it's sort of gone up. He's walked
Maybe,
up
yeah.
that way. So that's how it's been described. But yeah, anyone may have seen anything, heard anything, knows anything, obviously get in touch with local authorities, let them know, and then hopefully we can find this guy and stop things
Coming
like this
for you,
happening.
Uncle. Coming for you. Yeah.
Yeah, you better pray you don't see Raheel in these streets, innit? Yeah. But yeah, that's that first story. Again, unfortunate one. But yeah, man. Yeah, do you want to talk about any particular story?
Well, I know about them two nitties that got banned from Trelawney Avenue.
Can you just confirm, yeah? Because there's these two. This is such a random offshoot to this, yeah. But I don't know if you noticed, yeah. But there's these two nitties, yeah, who hang around like sort of Slough High Street. Sometimes they're at Bath Road near Sippenham. But it's just two Asian guys. Sometimes they're on like push bikes and that.
No, I don't know.
You've never seen them?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought it might have been the same
No.
two guys. But yeah, go on. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
So these two, yeah, all right, give you some background story in it, yeah. So I remember whenever I used to go like Tesco car park, yeah, to like park up, shop, etc. They'd obviously come to you, innit, these two, and I was once with my mate, right, and he was just tagging along, yeah, and he was like, I swear she went to school with me, blah 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 blah. So from what I understand, yeah, she's like maybe like 32, 33, and that's her brother. Yeah, the geezer that's with him. And yeah, they used to do the same thing in Tesco, right? And then I guess they got demoted to Trelawney Avenue. And now they got banned from there. But you know what, yeah? What I want to know is what is the threshold for beggars then before you get removed from the area?
I think.
Like, obviously, they're not going to be kicking every single one off and banning them from Trelawney Avenue. And the other thing is, yeah, you've banned them from the road where the parade of shops is, fine. Maybe that is kind of like a big proportion of where people will go for their local groceries or corner shop mission, whatever it is, yeah. But, like, there's always them side roads around the actual road itself. You can always, like... There's just different avenues for them to do it, innit? Like,
so just
they could just wait at the end of the road for the people.
Just based on the article, yeah, what I think has happened is these guys are obviously local to the area. I think there's pictures on the article that you sent in anyway.
Yeah.
So you can put it up and people can confirm this in the comments, I guess. But I think what's happened is they're local to the area. And like you mentioned, Trelawney Avenue, there's that parade of shops there that all the locals do go and do their local corner shop missions, like you said. And I think these two have been... causing problems with like the shopkeepers and things like that, where they've been going in to get their own stuff, and it's repetitive. And then, as I mentioned, it's repetitive antisocial behaviour, and so then there's a court-ordered ban to say you're not allowed in that area no more. So I think that is probably what has happened with these two. But look, like you said, man.
So look, my next question is, yeah, where do you think you're going to end up seeing them now? If it's not Langley or maybe Langley High Street,
Isn't Trelawney Avenue like right next to a school? There's
kind of, yeah. I think it's like
Not the college.
Slough Grammar. No, Langley Grammar.
Or is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the grammar school there.
At the end of the day, man, look, there's schools there, there's school kids that go by there. To answer your question, I would say just send them as far away from there as you can, man. You know them back roads in Langley, them like country roads and that.
Oh yeah,
Bruv,
towards Ivor and stuff.
send them there, man. Do you know what I mean? Let them do their things over there, man. Honestly.
They're gonna pop up somewhere else in Slough, and they just migrate from one area to another.
Yeah, that's the nature of it, isn't it? And then I guess they always move to areas where they feel like they're a bit more They've got an ability to get their sort of whatever it is they're on in it. Do you know what I mean? If they're too far away from their local guy, or
Like
whatever,
heroin.
crack cocaine, you know what I mean? We don't know, bro.
They fix basically, innit?
Yeah, we don't know, man. They can't move too far away in it. But yeah, man, we need to sort this.
But yeah, man, we need to sort this problem out.
I'm vengeance.
I don't think this place in and around Slough is going to solve this problem, innit? I feel like it's something that actually needs to be dealt with.
There's nothing we could do, man. Like, they're gonna stick them in housing association or whatever it is, right? They probably do have like a roof over their head. Some of these guys, yeah. Some of them probably not so much, but they will eventually.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not so much. I think like them in living conditions. It's more so what they want from it. Like if it's like when they ask you for money and you ask them what's it for,
Yeah.
they'll say food and water. And if you said I'll go get you the food and water,
No,
yeah. So you
yeah.
know it's not in it.
Why lie about that as well? Like, it's such a dead way to get caught out as well, yeah.
No, let me tell you the mad thing, yeah. Once, yeah, I was bare young, yeah, and I went KFC in Slough High Street, right? This is when Slough High Street was still doing okay, innit? It still had its legs. I don't know too much about anything else. But gone in KFC, banged an order, right? Like, yeah, go on. Give me this. And obviously, some guys come. He's like, oh, yeah, can I have some money, please? Yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, what do you need? Like, instead of saying, what do you need it for? I was like, look, I'll just buy you food. Because obviously he goes, it's for food, innit?
Yeah.
I go, all right, I'll buy you food, right? So he's ordered something, yeah? And they've given him, like, I think it was like a double stacker you asked for, right? Taking full flex advantage. I'm like, you know what? If you're that hungry, I'm not going to stop you, innit?
Yeah.
It's only like a one-off meal I'm buying. You know, like I'm feeding you every day. And they've basically given him a normal single one, and he's gone, this is not what I asked for. I look at the receipt, I was like, oh, these are accidentally charged me for a single burger type of thing, yeah? No, I want double. I was like, bro, how are you being so picky? Like, you ain't meant to have had a meal in days by the looks of it, yeah?
Maybe that's why you needed that extra level.
You're over here being like, nah, being a Karen. You're being a Karen. Like, what's that about?
Picky. Yeah.
Like, just, so double. Like, it's free food, man.
Yeah,
Stop moaning.
Take it. Yeah, I hear.
And it's halal.
Yeah, I hear that. To be fair,
Nah,
there's
no
a
offense
lot-
to people who eat non-halal.
There's a lot of situations like that, man, where you find you try and help people out, and then they'll just completely expose who they are, innit? Like, bare times you've had those situations where it's like, oh, I need money for food. Let's go buy you some food, and then it's like, oh, no, I don't want it now. Oh, I'm not hungry right now. I might be hungry later. It's like, mate, yeah, you're gonna be hungry after you go and pick up your flipping heroin and go.
Basically.
So yeah,
it's out.
But again, like I said, man, I think it's a problem that needs to be dealt with. I think, do you know what? Someone described it to me the best way recently. They said, if you get rid of the addict, there's always another addict, and if you get rid of the dealer, there's always another dealer in it. Do you get what I mean? So there's always two sides to the coin. I feel like they got to deal with both. But funnily enough, yeah,
I'm telling you,
yeah,
Nitty Mortal Kombat.
that's the solution, is it?
That is the maddest.
What was
That is the maddest.
What was that
You
thing?
could hold a tournament.
Was it
yeah,
Crackhead Olympics or something?
I don't know.
like that?
Wait, maybe. Yeah, God
Yeah.
knows. Yeah, but Nitty Mortal Kombat. Yeah, would be the one.
It's strange though.
That would be the one. I'm telling you.
Because, do you know, like we're saying, yeah, there's two sides of the coin, in it, when it comes to this problem, yeah. Now, it seems like police are obviously dealing with both sides because, you know, I was saying I was looking for, when we were here, I was looking for stories that come out in the last sort of hour, a couple of hours, blah, 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 yeah. So 3 hours ago, this story come out where a drug dealer was caught in Slough, right, with, I'll get the less shocking bit out of the way first, with a knife in his car, right,
Okay.
and with 4 kilos of cocaine. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you got Pablo
What do you
S.
get for it?
So, no, they just arrested him. Yeah, so he's been jailed after he was caught with a knife and 4 kilos of cocaine while driving in Slough. Gavin Piercy was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment after he was caught on Broadmark Road, Slough.
Jeez,
yeah.
Bait Road, man.
Yeah.
Bait
So,
Road.
yeah, but it's a bit strange. Like, you've got all of that sort of amount of drugs in your car, and then you also just keep a knife in your car as well. It's sort of like, what a weird
Well,
way.
if someone tries, rob the drugs.
Yeah, 4 kilos
Yeah,
with a knife.
yeah. It's probably a Rambo or something
You
like
might as well
that.
just put a machine gun in there at that point. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, that's too bait.
But 6 years for 4 kilograms, like, that's not a lot. That's quite a light sentence.
I don't know what to say about that, man. Like, it's the game, innit? You take the risk, you take the reward.
Yeah, well, I think his hearing was at Reading Crown Court March 31st, and he was done with possession with intent to supply cocaine and possession of a bladed article. But yeah, so the only reason why I mentioned that basically is just to say, like, even with this whole issue, there's yeah, like we said, there's always two sides to it that you've got to deal with. I just don't think it's enough of a priority, really, man, for like Thames Valley Police, Slough Council. I just don't think that they think it's a big problem.
I guess amongst the majority of crimes that are taking place, maybe it's not on the top of the priority. Yeah. But it's a problem nonetheless. I think a lot of the community could help out with it as well, innit?
Yeah.
Like, if you actually show support to help fix someone's life, and I'm not saying you fucking throw money at them and shit, but like generally, you know, maybe if you got spare food, instead of throwing it out, just dash it to me.
Do you know a big industry in America is especially in like California and things like that.
America, man.
Yeah, but no, but it's
They're
like
screwing up everything.
yeah, but it's the you know, the rehab clinics and stuff like that. These privately owned rehab clinics and stuff like that. They're a massive industry in America. Do you think that might work here if we like introduce that? Because you know, there's that big talk about, you know, people not wanting to privatize the NHS. Maybe this could be something they could privatize and it could benefit people.
Yeah, but how are they going to pay for it?
Do you know, a lot of the time it's people's families that pay for it. So it's like
Man,
their
if
parents will
people's
pay for it.
families gave a about people here, yeah, like the nitties we have in Slough, do you not think they'd be helping them out enough?
Do you think that the rehab facilities are?
And then you're saying go spend money on basically private medical care,
Yeah.
for someone who might,
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, yeah, there are people who would do it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it comes down to the person.
Yeah, but then if you look at it from their perspective, like the family members, would you not say they might think, look, if it's even a 1% chance this might work, you know, I'll take the chance and put that person into that.
Yeah, that's their family. They do that for their own, innit?
That's how they pay for it then. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like
Yeah, but not every. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think everyone in Slough who has a relative that's on road like that,
yeah,
has the funds to go dash them in there.
yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm trying to say?
True.
They've
Yeah.
probably got enough of their own mental health problems.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
know
Fair
what I
enough.
mean?
Yeah. But I don't know how we're going to solve this addiction problem in Slough, man. Honestly, I think it's one of those that will just never go away. But yeah, man. Other than that, though, that's
No, but you know what's weird, right? You say that, but there's you know, like where we're getting all these flats that are coming out, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
getting built, yeah. So let's say I'm the person who owns that land and getting the flats built, right? I get planning permission up to, let's say, just however far I can get it, right? But then there's a small piece of land after that, right? What these guys are doing is they're building on top of that as well, where they're not allowed, where they don't have planning permission for, right?
Right.
Yeah, the thing gets built. Eventually, the council becomes aware, right? And they say, we didn't give you permission to build there. You need to knock it down, right? And then the owner of the building will turn around and say, right, that's fine, but you're gonna make all these families that have paid either rent or bought it, right? You're gonna be like housing,
yeah.
And then we're gonna tell them that's the Slough Council saying that. Now, I think there's only one occasion where it's been highlighted with one place, Slough Borough Council actually went, nah, screw this, you're definitely not doing it, knock it down, right?
Yeah.
But most of these lot are getting away with it.
Yeah.
But that is the thing, though. Look, we already have a housing problem ourselves, right? With all these mates running around on road. And then you got the potential of all these actual working class, normal, I wouldn't say normal, but like just your average Joe paying extortion rent in Slough and extortion mortgage price. You know what I'm trying to say? And then they just got kicked out. And they're still, that doesn't mean they don't pay for it still. They still have to, innit? It's apparent, like, to do their own due diligence, I reckon. Where they would have to pay for it still.
Yeah, I think even, like, you just touched on it there, the housing problem as a whole, the way Slough Council deal with this kind of stuff is it's a bit weird, man. Like, I found a story as well where they were talking about writing off, I think it's business rates. There was like 3 companies in Slough that had accumulated more owed business rates than anyone else in the whole of Slough, and they basically wrote them all off because they were like, there's nothing we can do about it, and they've just gotten away with like 3 years. I'll find the article now, but so they wrote off £382,000 of business rates. Can you imagine, bro? £382,000 of building rates. They voted to write it off last Monday after all attempts to collect the debt owed by just 3 companies had been exhausted, Now, one Slough council leader branded the write-off as frightening, and councillors, as I mentioned, approved the write-off last Monday after they failed to collect the debts. Now, Councillor Wool Charhol, who was responsible for finance, he said it's an eye-watering number to be just written off. It's frightening. The question is really why we have got to that point. Is it because we were slow in collecting? Is it because of poor processes, poor procedures? What was the actual crux of why the money wasn't brought into the coffers of Slough Borough Council and used to pay for services that we desperately need for our residents? So, as we mentioned in the last episode, council tax going up for residents, but they're writing off £382,000 of business rates. All of these companies, by the way, guess what? They're all limited companies. They're all set out by like them one-man, two-man people, right? They've clearly rented out a unit for about a year, 2 years, whatever. Haven't paid a single penny of business rates, and then just thought, right, let's shut the company down, right? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if these same people hadn't taken out like unsecured loans on the businesses, done all these like standard dodgy business practices, yeah. But Slough's meant to be one of the centres of at least industrial business in England, or if not the UK, if not Europe, right? How are we not able to collect £382,000 in business
Yeah,
rates?
but it's privately owned.
What, the debt or
The trading estates.
Yeah, but business rates are paid to the council though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So how are the council not able to collect business rates in the largest industrial estate in Europe?
It's all bark, no bite. You know what I mean?
I feel like week after week we're finding this. You know that?
What?
That it's all talk. It's all
Yeah,
talk,
but that's
no
what all these
action.
politicians do, innit? They all chat this shit.
It's crazy.
Promise you the world. They're basically fuckboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're all fuckboys.
Right now, like
They
even,
promise everyone the world and then they don't deliver on
Have
anything.
you seen with like Keir Starmer what's happening now? Obviously, we don't normally talk about like the larger politics of even the UK, let alone the world, yeah. But Keir Starmer mentioned about the energy cuts. Energy bills have gone up now. Council tax cuts, council tax bills are going up now.
Yeah.
You know, all these things that he said he was going to do, and it's just not happened. So it seems like what you're saying is right, man. And we're a Labour government in Slough, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
So trickle down effect then, isn't it? It's literally the same thing that we're experiencing from the top, coming back down to the bottom. So who knows? Maybe it'd be interesting to speak to someone down the line, representative of the council, and get their opinions on things like this. And they might be able to tell us why it's difficult for them to collect from these businesses. You know, maybe they're not able to get in touch with the business owners because they've got the wrong address. They put themselves up, electronic address in London, and their mail gets sent there. They never go collect it. Like,
Yeah, it probably is.
you never know,
like
innit?
that as well.
You never know. So yeah, man, there's a lot of doom and gloom in the business world in Slough as well, I guess.